Julie Andrews, beloved worldwide as the graceful star of The Sound of Music and Mary Poppins, walked onto the Graham Norton show to a standing ovation. The studio lights glowed warmly, and Graham, known for his charm, greeted her with admiration. At least, that was how it appeared at first. The audience was electric with excitement, expecting a delightful conversation filled with nostalgia and laughter. But barely moments into the interview, the atmosphere shifted. Graham brought up a recent viral social media clip that had stirred controversy, one Julie had never publicly addressed. His tone was playful, but the question was pointed. The audience gave a collective gasp. Julie's expression remained composed, but her eyes hardened just slightly, reflecting years of grace under pressure. "I'm not sure that's appropriate," she said gently, yet firmly. Graham chuckled, trying to brush it off. But then he doubled down, replaying the viral clip on the studio screen behind them. The crowd murmured, unsure if this was part of the show's usual humor or crossing a line. Julie folded her hands in her lap with quiet dignity. Her voice was soft, but every word carried weight. "My work has stood for joy and kindness. I won't let a soundbite define that." The room fell silent. Something had shifted, not just in the show, but in the legacy moment unfolding before millions. And what happened next, no one could have predicted. Graham, sensing the tension but unwilling to lose control of the interview, tried to pivot with humor. "Julie, surely you understand how the internet works now, everything's up for discussion." His tone was light, but the words felt sharp. The audience gave uneasy laughter. They could sense it too, this wasn't playful banter anymore. Julie maintained her poise, a master of grace under fire. "I understand discussion," she said, meeting Graham's eyes, "but I don't appreciate distortion." Her voice was gentle, but it resonated through the studio like a bell. Graham attempted to keep the momentum going and jokingly asked if this meant she was finally ready to spill some real secrets. The audience oohed softly, half in anticipation, half in discomfort. Julie leaned forward slightly. "If it's truth you want, ask with sincerity. If it's spectacle, you'll have to find someone else." The crowd applauded, not wildly, but with growing support. Graham's smile faltered. It was rare, almost unheard of, for a guest to confront him so directly on air. Behind the cameras, producers exchanged frantic looks. The segment was going off script, fast. Graham tried to regain footing. "Now Julie, no hard feelings, surely we can have a laugh." But Julie simply replied, "Laughter should lift people up, not tear down reputations." A hush fell once more. Everyone knew, this was no longer just an interview. It was a cultural moment. Whispers rippled across the studio. Some audience members exchanged glances of admiration for Julie's courage, while others stared at Graham, waiting to see if he would apologize or press on. The tension was thick enough to feel. Cameras zoomed in, capturing every flicker of expression. Graham tried again. "Julie, the clip was public. Don't you think people deserve explanation?" His voice, though calm, carried a challenging edge. Julie didn't flinch. "People deserve respect. Even public figures are human beings. When did kindness stop being newsworthy?" The crowd erupted in applause this time, loud and clear. A few people even stood up. Graham opened his mouth to respond, but the audience reaction had shifted the power in the room. The producers gestured to cut to commercial, yet Graham waved them off. Whether out of pride or showmanship, he pushed forward. "Are you saying the media is unfair to you?" he pressed. Julie gave a soft, almost sad smile. "Not just to me, Graham. To anyone who refuses to feed outrage for ratings." This time, the applause was thunderous. As the show resumed after a brief break, Graham attempted a lighter tone, but the shift was too drastic. "Let's change the subject," he said brusquely. But the damage had already been done. Julie thanked him politely and adjusted her microphone. Then she stood. The audience gasped. Graham blinked in disbelief. "Julie, are you leaving?" She looked at him kindly. "I came here to celebrate stories, music, and heart. Not conflict." Her voice was steady, each word a graceful exit line. The audience rose instinctively to their feet in a standing ovation. Julie gave a gentle nod to the crowd, then turned and walked off the set. Cameras caught Graham frozen, speechless for the first time in his career. Within hours, the clip went viral globally. Headlines read, "Julie Andrews walks off Graham Norton show, internet erupts in support." Millions praised her integrity, calling it the most elegant stand ever seen on television. Graham issued a statement attempting to clarify, but it was too late. Social media flooded with messages like, "She taught the world a masterclass in dignity." Others demanded formal apologies from the network. Julie, as always, remained silent publicly, letting her actions speak. Book sales skyrocketed, streaming views of her classic films surged, and fan tributes emerged across every platform. The world had witnessed something rare, a person of true grace refusing to be reduced to sensationalism. And in doing so, Julie Andrews reminded everyone what real class looks like.